All right, guys, it's November 2nd here. I'm going in for a morning hunt, and I had um, kind of a bit of a telling day yesterday. My morning was a bust. I didn't end up seeing really anything. I sat till pretty close to noon, and then I was going to adjust for an evening sit and everything. And last night I saw about 7 deer, one nice mature doe that was right in on me and everything, but for the most part I saw lone fawns. And when you start seeing that at this time of year, every year that I've seen that, I've started seeing that a lot, and then all of a sudden a day or two later is when I'll have one of those really good sits, it seems like. So those are definitely kicking fawns off right now. My buddy who's out here with me was sitting last night and actually saw a doe physically kicking a doe off her. She was like, clinging to her and stuff, trying to do a little nursing and things like that, and the doe was being real aggressive with her and physically actually kicking her off and everything, he said. So it's about to pop out here. I'm pretty confident in that. Even on my drive over and everything, I saw 2 lone fawns right next to the road together, no does anywhere to be seen. Then a few miles down the road I saw a young buck and a lone doe together and everything. So it's super windy out here this morning, 40-mile-an-hour gusting up to 40-mile-an-hour south winds. So what my plan is I'm going to go up the river in the kayak and bank it, and I've got a tree ready kind of on the back side of a block of timber that is right next to some really good thick radweed security cover that's going to be right next to me to my north, or right to my right, essentially, for when I'm hanging in the tree. And then about 60-70 yards in the other direction is another big wide swath of brushy thick cover and everything that should be as protected as anywhere we can find around here. So that's kind of my goal in days like this, when you have these really heavy winds, is try to get into backsides of areas where you can be next to some security cover, and hopefully some areas that are protected a little bit, that might be a place that deer want to get to and everything. So I'm assuming that it's going to be any day now when we're going to start seeing some really good chasing activity and stuff, and hopefully this morning is it. So I'm going to get in there and get set up. I'm going to show you the new kayak setup I have here. It's just super quiet. It's a bit of a process to get everything situated for this first run, but once you have it, if you can leave it on the bank up somewhere on a lake or a river or something like that, man, it is so awesome getting up and down here. Got the foot pedal, nice and smooth turning. I use a spotlight here to get up and down in the dark and stuff. So it is slick, because there's nothing better than knowing you don't have to bust across like a cut cornfield, which would have been my only other option into this site. You're gonna bust deer out going in the morning and everything. So what I've seen when I've started doing this with the kayak is that you're just getting that, like during the rut, you're gonna have deer traveling further, things like that, so you can still shoot deer. Sometimes if you can get away with more at this time of year, if you have to blow things off going in, it's never ideal. And what I've noticed is when I started really focusing on using water access like this, is that you get such great early morning movement a lot of times when those deer are coming out the field, when you can slip in the back door like that, because they just don't know that you're there. So it obviously is helpful and everything like that. So plus, once you get it set up, it's a breeze. Like the spot I'm going, I'm gonna bank it, and I'm gonna walk 15 yards to my tree, so you're not getting sweated up, things like that. So it's pretty slick. Alright guys, so I ended up getting down here and going, and my original plan was to back out. You saw the shot and everything like that. The reason I had to take that shot, or felt like I had to take that shot, he was slight quartering towards, and that's why I put it so tight to the shoulder like that, is because what he was smelling there was my ground scent. I prepped this spot in August. Everything in this area is just got turned upside down with a huge storm that came through here in June. And I had to relearn the whole piece of timber and everything and how they're using it. So what I did in August is I spent hours out here clearing deadfall, moving things around, stuff like that. And I came in here for the first time now in, it's November 2nd for an evening hunt. And I get to the tree that I'd marked and was curious, like, you never know for sure how they're using it when there's so much destruction like this with so many deadfalls and things like that. So I got up into my tree. I didn't have a shooting lane. What it did was, throughout the summer, it opened up the canopy so much that it just, the vegetation, which is great for holding deer in here, it shot up. And so I had to go, I'll turn the camera around and show you here. But I had to trim off the tops of this ragweed, and where he was standing right over there, I wanted to get an idea of, are they even moving through here, type of thing, or should I keep scouting and try to set up someplace else? So he was sniffing my ground scent, and right when he dipped his head down like that, he wasn't nervous, he wasn't acting nervous or anything like that, but at that point I just don't know. So he's only, I was where's my tree? This is my tree right here, and I was only 2 sticks high, so not very high or anything. Had a nice clean opening to the deer and everything like that. And yeah, I when I shot, is a little lower than I wanted, but it was good, left and right and everything. That's about where I wanted to put it in terms of the angle he was at me. And he ran up there and he stopped, and I got just a tail down. He licked his lips. So I knew he was hurt really bad, but he didn't go down right away like I was kind of thinking he would. So anyway, I got down and I was gonna back out and wait till dark and wait till my buddy and my dad got back to the camper. Then I decided it's so windy out. If for some reason, I just thought, if for some reason he is holding on to life, I wanna use the wind to my advantage, sneak up there where I last saw him. I saw him disappear. He stood for like 45 seconds to a minute. I thought he was going to go down right there. He ended up walking about 5 feet further and stuff, but I knocked an arrow and went up there because I was going to try to use the wind to my advantage and get another arrow in if needed, but that wasn't necessary. So I came around the corner and he was lying dead right there. And I haven't gotten up on him yet. I went back and got my gear all put away and stuff, so let's go walk up on him and everything and take a look at him. So this is where I shot him, right in here, and this is so right at impact. Good blood right there. I'm shooting a wide single bevel, 150 grains, it's about 18% FOC, and so that just makes me real confident to put it up on that shoulder like that if need be, on those slight quartering towards shots. But it created really good blood trail. He ran up over that direction, but I'm just going to take this trail where I know he's at. So I suppose he went about, I don't know, 60 yards before falling. Good blood right in here. What a buck. Oh my gosh. That is awesome. Good mass to him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pointer. Really nice deer. Oh man, I'm gonna get them set up and turned around and take some photos and stuff, get a tag on them and everything, and then I can maybe just describe the situation a little bit more for you. All right guys, so just to recap what I think kind of made this come together, I really feel like that trip I took out here in August to scout is what made this happen. It's what gave me the confidence to come in here when I knew that so much had changed. And you know, it's just, those scouting trips are so key in this spot that I hunt out here every year. When you're doing out-of-state trips like that, if you can designate a weekend to get out here, think towards the rut, find those pinch points, things like that, think long-term, and do the work it takes in the summer. Like I said, this is the 4th buck that I've shot in this piece of timber in the last 6 years. And I shot it out of a completely different tree. They're moving completely differently now through this timber than they were on those prior 3 deer I shot. So, and then second, just on really windy days like this, we got winds out of the south right now, this morning, and it shifted to west-northwest here in the evening and everything. But when it's really windy like this, it was gusting up to about 40 miles an hour today. And it was super windy when I shot this buck. One, I wanted a close shot, which is another reason that this spot was appealing to me, because I knew if I saw a deer, I felt like it would be in that 15-yard range. And that's exactly what happened. I saw that little spike, that fork come through about half an hour before this one came through. And yeah, I could have shot him, he was right there. And so that worked out really well. And when I get those windy conditions, when you're using a bow and stuff, I don't want to be taking long shots at all. I don't like taking long shots, period, with a bow. But in those windy conditions, too much can go wrong. So I just really thought, okay, where am I going to be close quarters if I get a shot opportunity tonight? And number 2 is get in here in thick stuff with them. This is an amazing piece of timber right now because of what happened this summer. All the deadfall that flew over, it opened up the canopy, and it is so much thicker in here right now than it was last year. It's awesome to see, actually. I mean, obviously you don't want storms to come through and everything like that, but it'll regenerate forest floor and everything like that, and it can create some awesome deer habitat. So, you know, when you get windy conditions like this, 2 years ago at another out-of-state trip, I shot a buck, similar conditions. I decided, you know, he's probably gonna wanna get into thick stuff, be down low, and right at last light, he came up out of the thick stuff, and I shot that one. This one was right within really good security cover and everything. So I think it's where they feel, you know, safest in those windy conditions. He felt obviously good enough to be up on his feet, moving around and everything. So yeah, this is the first state I hit on this rut trip that I take. I've got 2 more tags in 2 different states to here in the upper Midwest that I'm going to try to fill. So what an awesome deer to start it off and everything. And actually, as I was getting to this deer, my buddy called, who's out here with me. He shot a huge one too, about 45 minutes the other direction, half an hour the other direction and stuff. So we're gonna have a busy night tonight. So good luck everybody as you're getting out and everything. And yeah, hope you all have a great season.